Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Talking Heartland podcast, and the show where we recap every episode of Heartland. And we're finishing off Heartland season 19. It's very exciting. I can't believe that it's done. I can't believe that we've covered 19 seasons. Unbelievable. And today we're talking about episodes 8, 9, and 10. And I am film critic Grace Wagner, and Mike is here.
Thank you for having me on again, Rachel. I appreciate it. We did it. We finished season
Yay!
19. Huge. Yes,
Yes. And I'm so grateful for your help with this.
of
It
course.
has been a really fun time. And we normally cover our Heartland in 2 episode batches, but just with the holidays and everything else happening, it just the way it worked out. So yeah, we got 3 episodes to talk about, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we'll talk a little bit about just sort of our overall feelings of the season as a whole. And we definitely want to hear what the listener, thinks of the season, how you feel about it, what they decided to do, all of that. Please put in the comment section, and make sure you check out our playlist with all of our Heartland content over the years. So let's dive in. Let's talk about this first episode. It's episode 8. It's called Lost and Found. And it's Lou leads a cattle drive while Jack helps a friend facing unexpected challenges. Lisa meets her sister Tammy as Amy feels distant from Nathan. So overall, what do you think of this episode?
So it's hard. I haven't watched this for a few weeks, so you'll all have to help me out a little bit. But it was I enjoy the Jack and Lindy parts with them sneaking the horse into the retirement home. That was really funny. That was probably my favorite part of the episode.
Yeah,
Um,
that was very funny. I mean, I
yeah,
think it would be highly unsanitary and
I know that
to do
elevator
it, but
that elevator it well and the horse like pooped all over like the halls apparently.
yeah,
So that was all funny though. I like
yeah,
that. And then
yeah.
the other plots were good too. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So we start out with Amy is working with this horse named Joker, and the owner has overtrained him, and so she's trying to work with this particular horse and get him to sort of calm down a little bit more, and so that's kind of Amy's plot here, and also with Nathan, and that Nathan's on the circuit, and so there's that's sort of their divide of he's having success, but then he's gone, and kind of a thing going on.
Yeah, it's tricky because I'm hoping that's not going to be like a consistent thing because, as the show went on, then Graham started being on it less and less until he eventually left. I'm hoping that this like was just like a short-term thing with the whole
Yeah,
circuit thing for Nathan.
that's true. That's a good point.
It's not gonna like turn out to be like a bigger thing. I hope not.
That's true because oh gosh, I I can't think of the actor. What's the actor's name who plays Nathan?
Spencer.
Yeah, that's true because he was that's true with Spencer because he was on The Last of Us. He's doing some other work. So yeah, especially after they've just kind of gotten together in the cliffhanger we'll talk about it in the last episode. That you would hate for that to happen so quick with the
Yeah.
character. Yeah, that's a good point. So Nathan does also ask Jack to visit his dad. That's the friend they're talking about in the summary, and he refuses to leave his room. But Jack, he doesn't want to go in the nursing home. He just feels very uncomfortable,
Yeah.
which I can understand because I also don't really. I mean, medical environments in general just kind of make me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. I feel like they make a lot of people uncomfortable. Like I don't know if anyone who would just like go in and like thrive while like visiting at
Yeah,
a nursing home. I think that unless you're like a child, like Lindy's age, who doesn't have like any severe medical issues, I feel like it always brings about like a little bit like stress when you're in there.
yeah, yeah, that's true. And he says, all I could think is it starts with hearing aids and ends with you guzzling prune juice. That's what Jack says.
Yeah.
But Lindy is very sweet and says you should take him cookies. And so Lindy kind of helps Jack to be able to do this,
Yeah.
you know. And so then we have River asking Katie if she's okay with her pursuing Dex and if she likes Dex. And Katie's like, oh, he's barely a friend.
Sure.
Sure,
Sure.
sure,
And
sure.
denial. Yeah.
I mean, you got to feel a little bit for River because she tries to be,
Yeah.
respectful and be a good friend and everything like that. And so, what did you think of this plot with Lisa and her sister?
I'm glad we got to meet Lisa's sister. I do think it's unrealistic for stuff like that to be resolved so quickly in like a matter of like
Yeah,
one day. Like that would not happen in real life with how um bitter things were between them. But it was like a perfect ending you want to say to their relationship. Again, that probably like resolved a little bit too fast. I do think they like they were I was watching them. I'm like, okay, these two could be sisters. I thought they like casted her sister
yeah,
well,
I
so I
agree.
appreciate that. What did you think?
Yeah, I agree that it does feel a little rushed with the resolution and everything. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. You usually don't see solo arcs for Lisa, so that was kind of nice for her to have her own story.
Yeah, outside of like her racing business, which those plots can sometimes be kind of boring, so we got like an actual personal arc for her, and I
Hmm.
appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. So then, with the main conflict is that they didn't like her husband,
Hmm.
and that she married, and then uh, and she says, when you got divorced, I'd hoped you would come home. Mom said she would never speak to me again if I married him. And she also said that none of you wanted anything to do with me. And then Lisa, she told me you didn't want anything to do with us. Um, yeah, so
Just giant miscommunication, I
yeah.
guess. They did not
which
communicate.
which I mean, I'm very, very grateful because all of my brothers and sister-in-laws are great. I get along with all of them. It would be very hard if if a sibling married somebody that I didn't like or thought was a bad person, or so that would be hard. I don't know how you. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think you could have a relationship with them. I mean, I don't see how it would be very difficult.
definitely not like being in each other's lives regularly. It would be more
Hmm.
like I feel like seeing each other for like family gatherings, and that would be the
Yeah,
extent of it. It would help if you didn't live close to each other. If if you have some distance, it would probably make it easier. But I don't think you would be like
yeah,
close
that's true.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's true. All of my in-laws are all kind of far away, but we get
yeah.
along. We get along well. We get along well. So it's I'm very blessed that way. And there's also some complications between the Fairfield cell. Them buying, you sure jumped at the chance to buy me out. You knew that buying me out of Fairfield would cut the final ties between us. And then
Mm.
Lisa says, I was doing you a favor, giving you financial freedom.
Yeah, I feel like they introduced too many conflicts between them for one
Yeah,
episode, and I got confused. I think they should have just stuck with like one thing.
yeah, I agree. Especially if they were going to resolve it so quick. Yeah,
Hmm.
that makes sense. So then basically basically Nathan's dad, he thinks his horse has been stolen because he hasn't seen it in so long. And so Jack tries to say, why don't you come out and you can come out to the and we'll show you the horse. And that's he won't do it. He doesn't he gets upset.
Hmm.
And so then that's when he brings Rowdy the horse to into the nursing home. which this
Yeah.
is a very low security nursing home.
Oh, clearly. They had no idea.
It's ridiculous, but it was funny. It
Yeah.
was funny and sweet, which is what you want from Heartland.
Hmm.
Ho, ho, ho! We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcasts, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Then we have Dex and Katie, and he dares Katie to go in the river, and that's when there's a wolf,
Hmm.
and a river gets bitten, so it gets kind of crazy, and so then kind of Lou gets involved, and there's sort of a back and forth between Katie, River, and Dex, and Katie sees River and Dex kissing, so then it gets.
Yep. A new love triangle.
Yes. How do
Oh,
you feel
geez.
about Dex? Do you like him as a character? Do you think he's been a good ad this season?
I enjoy Dex. I appreciate, I think, where he ends up the season because I was really starting to wonder, like, his, like, stuff was kind of getting old with how many times Jack kept kicking him off the ranch. So I'm hoping that like becomes a bit more like settled and that he actually starts to like grow is my hope. Show
Mm-hmm.
actual improvement. But I enjoy the character. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's good. Do you?
Yeah, I think he's pretty good. He's pretty good, particularly his interactions with Jack. That's worked well. I mean, I don't really care about this Katie River Dex thing. I about that
Yeah.
part of it, but the Jack part of it has been pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
So, so we have Lisa wrote a letter to Tammy when her husband died, that she never sent, and they have kind of a conversation about it. And she says, "Jack isn't who I thought you'd end up with," and then Tammy says, "I've just been trying to live up to others' expectations, only to end in things like divorce." And then Lisa says, "I should have fought for you." So, there we go with that. And it turns out that Tammy has a horse that's racing, so they're going to go on a road trip and together. That's kind of how their story ends. And then let's see here. And then we also have the rustlers that are stealing the cattle. So that's another thing. They've lost 20 cattle, which is crazy. So that is this episode. And this one was actually one of the ones directed by Michelle Morgan. So that's fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting how she can act and direct in the same one. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
know.
just means it's bonus points, but wow.
Yeah, it is. I think that must be challenging, but I guess when you've been doing it so long, it's probably easier than
Yeah.
when you've been doing 19 seasons. You're able to kind of know your way around everything pretty well. So
Yeah.
We'd like to take a second to thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the good folks at Aura Frames, and Aura's digital picture frames make the perfect holiday gift for the person that you are struggling right now to know what to get them. We all have those people on our gift list that are very difficult to shop for, but with Aura Frames, you can get them something that's personal, meaningful, and easy for you, which I think is the goal for any Christmas gift giving. Aura Frames, you can have unlimited free photos and videos. You just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. You can preload the photos before the frame ships, and you can keep adding from anywhere at any time. You can also personalize the gift with a message before it arrives, and every frame comes packaged in a premium gift box with no price tag. Don't wait, win the holidays now with Aura Frames. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code Hallmarkies at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code Hallmarkies. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell it fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code Hallmarkies. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, so the next episode is called Revenge. It's while Amy secretly works with Gracie's new horse, Lou and Jack are determined to catch the rustlers. Dex confronts his past and Georgie returns to Heartland. So what did you think overall of this episode?
I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed this one more than the previous. It's
Yeah.
great seeing Georgie back. Again, Alicia just plays her so well, even after being away for these years. So I enjoyed that. That Peter was really funny with his whole doctor relationship advice. I thought that was funny. This episode got me really confused with the whole Gracie plot. And we'll talk about it like that with the finale, how they like kind of like change course there. But yeah, it was a good episode. What did you think?
Yeah, and it made me wish that we could get Georgie back full time. I just really enjoyed her in these 2 episodes.
Yeah, me
having
too.
her back, and it was in the next episode. All the flashbacks was very, very nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Georgie's back, and she's broken up with Quinn. That made me sad.
Yeah, but I mean, I kind of expected it. I didn't really see him like coming back with her. I mean, she's barely been mentioned. We hadn't heard anything of him. Last we saw them, he proposed to her and she turned him down. And I had a feeling they were kind of that wasn't going to work out after that for some reason.
Yeah.
So I'm not too surprised.
Makes sense, but yeah, I mean, because they they can always just have him be off screen since it's not a permanent comeback. Like they could just have that Quinn is, off on the circuit or doing something or, whatever.
Yeah. It'll be interesting what they do with like her like love life, because I don't know how much we'll be seeing her.
Yeah. So then we have Nathan, he's back, and we have him bringing this horse, Bigby, to Amy, and it's Grace's horse, and he brought it without permission for Amy to take a look at this horse. And we have the other big plot was that we have Phoenix is off his game.
Yeah.
And that was also very nostalgic, Georgie and Phoenix.
Of course. Yeah.
So Amy tries to help Georgie with Phoenix. And we have this guy, Shim, that comes to see Dex. And I guess he did a violent hit in the he did a violent hit in the hockey, and that's what caused him to get hit with the
in the eye.
The eye, yeah. So Dex is really angry. So, that, and he ends up punching him in the face. It was a dirty hit, and I have to, and I have to live with that. That's what Shim says.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know hockey enough to know like what would be the difference between a regular hit and a dirty hit, but that's what he says.
I don't know. I mean, dirty in the sense that he actually got injured severely, like enough to ruin
Mhm.
his career.
But
So
I would think like a regular hit could also injure you.
yeah,
So I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know.
Because I'm not sure what, because he ended up getting hit in I guess maybe because it was towards the face, intentionally towards the face, something
Mm,
like that. I would make it the dirty hit.
yeah, maybe that. It would have been cool if we got like a flashback or something. That would have
I
been fun.
know. Yeah. Yeah.
But
So then we have Katie getting real crabby about River and Dex.
yeah, it's kind of like annoying to see, but it's also for a teenager makes total
Yeah,
sense.
it does. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. So Gracie's claiming that the rustlers hit them as well. And she also says that they have to work with Big B together. And they put in a security camera. And yeah, Gracie, how did you feel? And this is going to the next episode about sort of her arc. You're saying that it kind of changed course. What do you think?
It's so weird because Gracie gives off such odd energy. Like the way she acts is just not really normal. And I think the actress plays her really well because you just have no idea what is going on with her throughout all of this. At one minute she's like angry with Amy, yelling at her, and then she's crying. Then you have everything next episode, which again completely changes course. Um, Again, the actress plays her really well. Um, I was just like confused, kind of. I don't know what you think. I was thinking they were totally setting her up to be like innocent and all of it, and it was just like a misdirect, and it wasn't.
Hmm. Well, yeah, but then they have all of these journal entries from Marion about how Gracie was cruel, unkind to the animals
Yeah,
and everything. So you definitely get the feeling that she is a loose cannon.
yeah, and
So,
yeah, she whipped a horse, which Amy's upset about, and then it looks like she's starting to like cut her some slack, maybe just because she's Nathan's sister. I would think Amy would be a little more angry at that, just
mhm.
but yeah, I don't know. I think
Well, and
the crying was like a really like led me the wrong way when she just started crying.
yeah, I mean, and Amy says to her, "My mom regretted how things were left off. She felt like she failed you." So I was thinking, okay, they're going to end this season with some kind of redemption arc for Gracie, but they really didn't.
Mm-mm.
No, because they end with Amy helping Gracie with Bigby, and then she says, "You really are like your mom." And then so I was like, "Oh wow, they're gonna." This did feel like a redemption arc for, especially when you're bringing Marion into things.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in one aspect of her life, like a little bit of redemption. Um, kind of like something she regretted in the past, but not like, now, like something she's doing in the future. It's
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Because I guess Marion told everybody, like, don't work with this girl. She's a loose charge. And because she whipped a horse that wouldn't respond to her cues. And so Gracie says, she ruined any chance I had of being a trainer.
Mhm.
So that's why she's so bitter and so angry. Again, that's why I thought, okay, they're leading up to some kind of redemption arc or
Yeah.
whatever. To maybe she would be able to train, or maybe she would be able to do some of these things. But she does seem like a very, very, very selfish character.
That's what I think. Yeah,
Hmm.
at the end of all of this, yeah, I was surprised. I'm like, wow. Like I thought, like again, I thought they were like misleading us, but I was actually kind of shocked when it was actually what was revealed next episode. Yeah,
Hmm. So then Nathan is talking with this guy whose wife runs a rehab center. So, and we see that coming up in the next episode, kind of leaving on a cliffhanger. But
yeah.
uh, the how, how far do you think that the relationship between Amy and Nathan has gone at this point? Because Lindy interrupts them kissing. Are
Mm.
we supposed to believe that they haven't consummated the relationship? Do you think?
I don't know. Heartland's really not going to give you any hints. They were so secretive about her and Ty when I would assume they were like doing it before marriage. I feel like that's what we assumed. So I would assume
Yeah,
her and Nathan are doing it too. Heartland's not like When Calls to the Heart, where When Calls to the Heart is so innocent because it
right.
was back then. I assume they're already, yeah, they've already done it. I don't know what you think, but
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I would be curious to the listeners that what do you think? Do you think that they I mean, because Amy has been so hesitant to even say that they were dating, to tell Lindy that they were dating, I could see that no, I don't think they have. But then
maybe.
again, they keep putting in weird scenes like this, like Lindy interrupting them and whatever. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
especially
possible.
when they went to I forget what it's called that the other place, where they uh, what's it called? I can't think. Where they had the episode where they had the plane accident.
Oh, the one with Caleb and
That
Ashley.
place. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
forget what that place is called, but anyway, it's in
Uh,
a bunch of episodes.
Pike Ripper.
Yes, Pike River. Especially when they're doing things like that together, it does seem a little.
They did share a bed.
Yeah,
Um, so that when they were sharing a bed, that's just what when I thought they were.
yeah,
But
probably.
yeah,
Probably. But yeah, Lindy, she interrupts them. So, uh, and we have Peter, he is giving great advice to Georgie. And
yeah.
so that's fun. But Lou is being kind of jumpy with Peter, and um, the uh, Peter sees that the rifle's gone, and he says, "What is going on?" And this is like a hero arc. It turns out for Peter, he saves
Oh
the
yeah,
day.
he does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, so then we have Georgie. She is frustrated, feeling sad. She says, "I feel like I lost my best friend." And I think that would be I've never had like a big breakup like that, but I think that would be incredibly difficult. Somebody, even if you knew it was the right choice, you're used to the beats of a person being in your life, you're used to their presence in your life, and then all of a sudden gone. That would be really hard.
Yeah. Especially because they've been together for a while now.
Hmm.
Like I would assume like at least five
Yeah,
years at this
it's
point.
long.
It's been a
Yeah.
while, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So, and Peter also is giving some advice to Katie. He's great at right now.
Hmm. But yeah, this is what the role I like Peter in. So
I do too. Yeah, I do
yeah.
too. And then we have Jack confronting the rustlers, and they knock him out.
Hmm.
So yeah. Um, and then we find out about Wes Kellstrom. Of course, we've seen Wes before, but that he is behind it.
Mm, yeah.
Um, and he stole Spartan and tried to burn down our barn.
Yeah, season one.
He is a villain. He is a
Uh,
villain. Yeah, very bad.
still a villain after all these years.
So then Katie confronts Dax, says, you threw all this away because you can't control yourself. I did think that maybe they might have a kind of a shut up and kiss me type kiss between Katie and Dex in to end off the season, that kind of conflict. But
Yeah.
they didn't quite go there. But it's definitely obviously where they're going.
Yeah. I I would have actually liked to see that now that I think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess with the river of it all would have complicated things and all of that.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I mean, and you feel for River because all of these interactions, she's not there. So she's not really seeing. I think she probably is somewhat suspicious, which is why she asks Katie about it of interactions. So
yeah.
she wouldn't know.
Hmm.
Shim isn't the villain in your story. You are. That was a good line for Katie.
Was a good line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then and he says, this isn't a writers group session. Stop trying to
Yeah.
psychoanalyze me.
They're both sassy, I'll give them that.
Yeah, they both are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Georgie calls Quinn. She says, I want to be friends. I love you. I want the best for you. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And especially in a breakup that is so painful, I think it would be hard to be friends. At
Yeah.
least right away, maybe later. I
Hmm.
think that would be very difficult.
Hmm.
Once you have new relationships, then I think that would probably be more doable. Although
Yeah.
it could also just lead to like envy and comparisons and stuff like that. I don't know. It'd just be very difficult, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. So then we have, Peter sees the rifle is gone. I'm looking at his rifle case and it's empty. And then we see Lou, Nathan, and Jack at Wes's ranch. Well, this is it. So
Yeah.
that
What a
is the episode.
what a trio.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
would say that this episode is pretty classic Heartland.
Yeah, I agree.
You kind of have everything. I mean, especially bringing Georgie back, but you've got the relationship side, you've got the horse stuff happening,
Yeah.
and
Marion being like
uh-huh.
referenced. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
I'd like to take a second to thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Uncommon Goods. The countdown is on. Holiday shopping season is officially here. Uncommon Goods takes the stress out of gifting with thousands of unique, high-quality finds you won't see anywhere else. Don't wait. The most meaningful gifts get scooped up fast, and now's the perfect time to cross names off your list. What I really liked when I looked at their website is that you can go to the exact category of the person that you're shopping for. So you can look for gifts for women. And then in particular, they have a whole section for moms, for grandmas, for wives, for teenagers. And within each of those categories, there's all these creative ideas. And I had a lot of fun looking at the teen category. I have some nieces and different things that would be fun to shop for. And I love the creativity in so many of the gifts. You've got create your own reel viewers. You've got a photo and label printer. I definitely think there is something for everybody, and it's worth checking out their site. And it's also nice that when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3.1 million to date. So don't wait. Cross those names off your list before the rush. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/hallmarkies. That's uncommongoods.com/hallmarkies for 15% off. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary.
Okay, so then our finale. And this is the one that will be the most fresh on all of our minds because we just saw it. This is Forgiveness, and it's Georgie grapples with Phoenix's situation as the Rustlers' identities come to light. The Heartland family, including Amy, faces crucial choices about what lies ahead. So I guess how did you feel about this episode and the finale as it being a finale to the season?
I thought it was really good, really
Hmm.
strong. I think it wrapped everything up pretty well. Again, you mentioned the flashbacks with Georgie and Phoenix. I thought those were great. Really warmed
Yeah.
my heart. Um, and we got the Gracie reveal, which again I feel like they really it's almost like at first they wanted you to believe she was involved, and then they wanted
Hmm.
you to believe that she was innocent. So at this point, I was kind of actually surprised when it was revealed. So
I I
I
was
did kind of like the plot twist there.
I was surprised too because I mean, boy, it's going to be hard. I don't think we'll see her ever again, but it would be very hard to give her any kind of redemption arc at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they would have if they really wanted to give her the redemption arc, they would have started that last episode and
Yeah.
with the resolving that. But now,
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
mean,
said, she's selfish.
so selfish, and she almost ended up in prison because of her behavior, which
I
she
know
did.
she got really lucky. And then
Hmm.
she was also very arrogant. I mean, she's always arrogant, but she was very arrogant when she had to like sign the papers and all of that. It was,
Hmm.
I was like, I felt bad for Nathan that this is who you have as a sister.
Yeah.
Felt really bad for him.
Yeah, me too. So it starts out there at Wes Colstrom's place, and things are getting tense. They're looking for the cattle he stole. Then they end up holding Wes up, and then he ends up. Then the other ranchers come, and so then they get held up. It's a tit for tat kind of a situation, and Peter comes and saves the day.
Yeah, he knocks them out. I was, wow.
It was a great moment for Peter.
That was probably one of Peter's best moments in the whole show was
Yes,
that.
yes.
Uh,
Uh, and but they also noticed that that Wes has Gracie's feed that she'd gotten rid of.
yeah,
So that definitely is very suspect. And evidently she's the only person who uses that particular feed.
clearly.
They know there's no question.
Yeah.
Uh, But then we also have Georgie and Phoenix, like we talked about, that he's just off his game. He's not, actually, I can't remember. Phoenix a male horse or it's a male horse, right?
It's yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
male.
I
Yeah.
couldn't remember. But yeah, so that's sad for Georgie. Georgie wanted
Hmm.
to go to the Olympics with Phoenix. And it's interesting to know that that's still like a goal of hers. She's still working towards that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess that equestrian is a sport that you can do. Like some of the athletes are older. Not that she's old, but you can. I think I remember hearing about like the oldest athletes were in the equestrian
Mm.
in the
Okay.
last summer Olympics.
Okay.
So she still has time to do it if she wants.
Hmm.
So basically, Gracie starts out. She's excited because Crown Shoppers has increased their order. And that's one thing that doesn't make sense really at all is that like the rapidity to which Crown Shoppers reacts to everything happening on the ranch. Like they make it seem like it's I mean, I think there's a whole cycle of like I don't know anything about livestock and slaughter and some things, but I don't think it's. I mean, they act like that. There's a storm or something or something bad happening, and that like it affects Crown Shoppers immediately. Like I think there's a cycle of to the harvesting of the animals. If
I
that
don't
makes sense.
understand. Yeah, I don't understand anything with the Crown Shoppers
Yeah,
plot. I'm
it
lost
it
with the Garland foods and everything. I felt like that I was able to follow that pretty well.
yeah
But once they
they
introduced this, I don't get it. And the whole grain storyline, like, no.
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
not
it didn't make any
understand.
sense because supposedly Gracie is getting this higher price from Crown Shoppers because of what she's feeding them, but like that would take a long time to like cycle through with the animals. Then you wouldn't see that in like a week.
I mean, and maybe I guess at this point, after several months had passed, then maybe now it would have made sense. But I thought she got rid of all the grain. She must have kept some of it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
thought so.
know. Makes no sense.
But anyway, they're increasing their order. That Heartland lost 30 cattle, and again, this would take I think a while to kind of fully show its show, but they're making it seem like it's immediate. The loss of this
Yeah.
cattle, they immediately impacts Gracie's feed, and I mean it immediately impacts Gracie and their sale and everything like that. And Nathan says, "I don't feel much like celebrating." So, um, and Nathan starts snooping around and he finds that she sold the feed to Collective Farmers Supply, which is owned by Wes. So that's
Yeah.
the problem with good bookkeeping. When you have good bookkeeping,
Hmm.
everybody knows. Everybody knows what
Yeah.
you're doing. Uh, so we have Katie inviting Dex to share in the writing group. And he says, I don't want to be the villain in my own story. And I could have seen them putting a kiss in at this moment. I could have
Yeah.
seen
It,
that.
it's like almost there. They just
Mm-hmm.
didn't quite go there, but definitely next season it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yep. And so then we have Nathan. He basically tells everybody that like this is what Gracie's done. And then she sees us like this big betrayal. uh, which I mean, of course he's going to do that, not only because it's the right thing to do, but also because he's literally dating Amy. Like, do you think that she would kind of think this through a little bit more?
Yeah. But Grace is clearly not super smart, so it's not.
No, no.
Well,
And but it was very sweet to see Nathan reading to Lindy. That was very cute.
hmm
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was nice. So and also there was a theme of this episode of the Fireflies.
Yeah.
And that was nice. That was sweet.
Yeah.
Lindy with the
Uh-huh.
fireflies. I mean, because
Yeah.
fireflies look really gross in up close, but then of
hmm
course when they're fireflying, they look beautiful.
Yeah. hmm
So, um, so then we find out that so Gracie was working with Wes to steal the cattle and paying him to stay quiet. And uh, and so they want to go out and call the police and everything like that. And Nathan says, let me handle it. I have a plan to deal with it. So, but then you also have Lou, who's kind of becoming vigilante with this. He's like
Yeah.
with the wolf. The wolf's not as smart as he thinks he is. Have Georgie. She says to Amy, "Stop being my coach and listen. Don't let fear get in the way now." So because she's nervous, but then Georgie says, "Oh, I'm not going to compete in this competition." Dex he writes about Shim, and Katie says it's possible I misjudged him, and so they're back and forth. And
Yeah.
this is when we start to get a lot of the flashbacks about Georgie and Phoenix.
hmm
Let's have one last chance for you two to fly. So, and
Yeah.
and yeah, Alicia is such a good actress that you really felt for her with this, with Phoenix. Oh,
Yeah. I watched her in she's in My Life with the Walter Boys, which is on Netflix.
mm-hmm.
And she's okay in that, but that's a completely different type of shit. It's a teen drama. But when she's like in Heartland, it's like so different, and it's such like a good like feeling seeing her on screen, and especially
Yeah.
like especially the flashbacks, really well
Hmm.
done. And
Hmm.
Lou being the one to encourage her, I like that too.
Yeah, that was
Um,
nice.
Instead of Amy or because
Yeah.
you would think it would be
Or
Amy, but
Peter.
or Peter. I think Lou though was like a good choice
Yeah.
because that relationship to me I never loved all that much Lou and Georgie. But I did like that moment, yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice moment. You don't have often that Lou gets to be sort of the the that you don't have often that Lou gets to really play in on those maternal aspects with her
Yeah.
daughters, and so that's really nice that you got to see. And so then we have Jack. He decides to forgive Dex, and he says, "Katie pleaded your case." And I feel like Jack's kind of he knows what's happening here with
Yeah,
Katie
yeah.
and Dex. He knows,
He knows, yeah.
which is probably part of the reason why he got so upset about his behavior if he knows that it could be influencing his granddaughter.
Yeah, he doesn't want her to get hurt, which
Hmm.
very admirable, yeah.
Well, and doesn't want her to be with this like violent person and be
Hmm.
encouraging this violent person in her life, in their lives. So, that would make sense. We get this conversation between Katie and River says, "You are my best friend. You are my ride and die." Do you think that they have built that up to be believable?
I don't know. I mean, they're younger, so maybe some friendships are like naturally build up that way. I know that girl friendships are a bit more likely to develop like that than guy friendships,
Yeah,
but
that's true. High
I
school
don't.
friendships.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely come a long way from when the season started, and you they didn't even know each other when the season started, and then you had them kind of be like rivals a bit, and then they developed this friendship. I would think that River would be friends with Katie, but I feel like she would just be more friends with the other flag girls more, rather than like
Hmm.
Katie becoming her sole friend. For
Yeah,
Katie, for
that
Ka
maybe that's what it was. That it seemed a little like, are they really supposed to be like bosom buddies at this point? Seemed a
I mean,
little hard to
and
believe.
for Katie's side of it, I would get it because she doesn't really have many other friends. That River would just become her main friend, but I didn't really get it from River's side because River has other friends,
Hmm. Yeah,
clearly,
yeah.
but whatever.
Um, we have this guy Tanner calling, and I was confused at first. I'm like, who is Tanner? But I guess he's the one that the friend that Nathan was talking about, that wife
Yeah.
owns the rehab center.
Hmm.
So then we have Gracie saying goodbye to her dad. And yeah, I think that that's the last we'll see of Gracie. I don't think we'll ever see her again.
Yeah, me neither. I just don't know what the character could do.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like she got so many chances. Nathan
Yeah.
gave her, Amy gave her, um, so many chances to like prove herself and become better, and she didn't do that. So I don't know what the character can do now.
Yeah. So they also say that Georgie, I guess, got an offer from a stable in Austria to ride for them.
Mm,
So that'll be their out with her.
yeah,
And then Tim calls Jack, which was kind of nice to see
I
that.
like that. Yeah,
And he says that I'm doing this the same old, same old.
yeah. It would have been cool if we got if like Chris could have like just recorded like a little bit of audio, to put in there
Yeah,
at
that
the
would have been
end.
nice. I agree.
Yeah,
That would have been
yeah.
nice. So then Katie says, I mostly stood up for you for River. And then he says, you said mostly? So,
Uh-huh. See what they're doing there.
yes. And so then Nathan says, I'm selling the ranch with everything happening with Gracie. And they make Gracie sign they basically confront Gracie, and then they say, she has to sign over. the ranch and leave, or they're gonna call the cops.
Yeah.
And so he says that basically between that and everything going on, that he needs to sell the ranch, and he says that I am going to be taking up Tanner on his offer. It's a nice spread of land on Salt Spring Island.
Mm.
The wife's rescue center has a lot of horses that need training. They will show us the ropes. And he says, "What do you think about that?" And Amy says, she says she will think about it. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about this?
It's like a nice idea on paper, but I don't really see Amy leaving Heartland.
No,
So
I don't think she's gonna.
not right now. Maybe if they were married, but even then, her and Ty still lived in Heartland. Um, so I don't. Well, yeah, they did. They were in
Mhm.
the trailer for a brief time too. But
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, they've always been in Hudson. I don't think
yeah,
you could have this show and have. I mean, Amy is the show, so
right.
I don't think that this would happen. So it'll be interesting to see how they resolve it, what they do, because in season 20, because obviously she has to be there. Amy has to be there in Hudson,
Right, right.
you know. So then we have Nathan taking Lindy and Amy to the Fireflies, which was very sweet. That was very nice.
Hmm.
And he says, "We could build a life together, a family. Come with me, marry me," which was very sweet and swoony.
Yeah, he didn't get out on one knee was the only thing.
He
But
didn't. What do you
maybe
mean?
he didn't get down on one knee to propose, which was
Oh, I thought
the
you
only
said he
thing.
didn't get it out of Lindy. Oh, okay,
Oh
on one
no,
knee, one
on
knee.
one knee. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess he
I
didn't
don't.
have the ring though. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that you need to get down on one knee. But it would have been sweet to do it. But yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how they resolve it going into season 20, what they do, and yeah, well, we'll see. But
yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about Nathan and Amy? Do you think they have good chemistry? Do you think it's been a good arc this season? What do you think?
Hmm. Yeah, they have good enough chemistry. I don't know if it's like
Yeah,
superb, but it's good enough for the story that they're telling. It's definitely gotten
yeah.
better. I can buy into it, you know.
I
Um,
mean, and it's hard because she had such great chemistry with Ty. It is tough. It's tough to replicate that.
yeah, they were one of like my favorite TV
Yeah.
couples for sure. So it's so tricky, but they're good.
Hmm.
I don't hate them. The arc's been good. I'm curious what it's going to be like without Gracie as a like an
A
obstacle.
wedge. Yeah, a wedge
Yeah,
between them.
um,
Yeah,
yeah,
that'll be interesting. I mean, it seems like the big conflict is going to be this moving to Salt Spring Island. That's going to be, which doesn't sound the best, but we'll see what they do.
I just don't think it's gonna happen. That's the
No,
thing.
but
And
I
then of
think they're
course
going to drag it out for the season,
yeah,
as they'll probably be planning the wedding and but I
yeah.
mean, it does seem like a compelling offer. If we take
Mm,
out the fact that Amy has to be in Hudson for the show, but just in the like they love each other, she could still be able to help the horses and this rescue center, and it would be kind of a new start for them as a couple. There are a lot of reasons why, if you're just looking at it as itself and not as a TV show, why it would make sense for her to
yeah,
take this offer, you know. But
yeah. I
I just
agree.
don't see how they can do that because they need her to be there for the show. So, but it was a pretty swoony, nice ending for the season, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume she'll accept it. I'm just not sure
Hmm.
about the move.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't think she would turn him down on both fronts. So
yeah. Well, let us know what you think of these episodes and also just the season in general. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section or on social media. And Micah, thank you so much for doing this with me this season.
Yeah, of
You've been a
course.
lifesaver. It's been great. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate your insight into the show. I know Michelle's grateful as well. So thank you, and it would be fun once season 20 comes along next year.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
I'll be able to like come on for like
Yes.
something, then that'll be fun.
Yes,
Yeah. It
definitely.
would be fun for like the three of us to bounce off of each other.
I would
So
love that. I would love that.
yeah.
But again, if you're listening, let us know what you think of everything that happened and the season as a whole. And if people want to follow you, how do they do that?
You can follow me on my YouTube channel. I'm slowly starting to get back into that. I reviewed volume one of Stranger Things.
Okay, good.
And then also review volumes two and three, and then one calls the Heart in January. So that'll be like the next thing after that, which I know you will also
Yeah.
plan to do. So you'll have both of us reviewing it. So
Yeah, that'll
yeah.
be fun. That'll be a blast. So definitely check all of that out. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. And right now at KSL Movie Show on Fridays. I would really appreciate if y'all check that out. You can listen live at 11 Mountain for the movie show, but then you can listen to the podcast version. And I think it's super fun show. I would really appreciate anybody checking that out. And make sure that you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That helps us a lot. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. And we have our Patreon group, which is the biggest way you can support everything we're doing. You get to be part of watch alongs and other cool benefits to being a Patreon member. And you can listen to our episodes ad free right now for the patrons. So that's a cool new perk. So check that out. And then we have our merch store where we even have some Heartland inspired merch. So check that out. And thanks again, Micah. I really appreciate it. And we'll
Yeah.
talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye everyone.